Order number 5, papers.
Who is laying the papers? Chairman Agriculture. Chairman Justice. Deferred.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Yeah, okay. Senator Sakaja.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I beg to give notice of the following motion. Motion: approval of the third basis for revenue allocation among the county governments. That aware that under Article 217 of the Constitution, the Senate by resolution is required to determine the basis for allocation among the counties, the share of national revenue that is annually allocated to the county level of government. Further aware that the Senate mandated the Standing Committee on Finance and Budget to consider the recommendations of the Commission on Revenue Allocation and consulted the Cabinet Secretary responsible for finance and the Council of Governors, among others, and subsequently conducted public participation pursuant to Article 118(1)(b) of the Constitution, as documented in the report table in the Senate on Monday, 13th July 2020. Now, therefore, the Senate resolves that pursuant to Article 217(1) of the Constitution, the third basis for sharing revenue among counties for the financial year 2020-2021 to 2024-2025 be as indicated in the order paper. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, next order. Senator Milgo. Is she here? Is she there? Senator Milgo. Majority Leader. Notice of motion on COVID here.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, sir, I would like to give the following notice that pursuant to Standing Order 187 and 189, the Senate approves the nomination of Senator Dr. Christopher Andrew Lagat, MP, to serve in the ad hoc committee on COVID-19 situation in Kenya, to take up the vacancy occasioned by the resignation of Senator Johnson Sakaja, CBS MP.
What's your point of order, Senator Wambua?
Mr. Speaker, you know, you've just given directions on this COVID thing, Mr. Speaker. And for the second time, I've seen the majority whip going to the dispatch box and speaking with his mask off. Mr. Speaker, that mic is a shared facility. Can you direct Mr. Speaker that we use that mic properly? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yeah, I think, Honorable Senators, we are taking some matters lightly, but Whip, let us take this matter seriously, please. Senator Milgo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I wish to give notice of the following motion: development of daycare policy in the counties and Department of Basic Education. That aware that Constitution of Kenya, Article 53, affirms that children have basic rights, including the rights to education, nutrition, shelter, health care, and parental care provisions that are aligned with those cited in both the Convention on the Rights of the Child and the Africa Charter on the Rights and Welfare of the Child, to which Kenya is a signatory. Concerned that the current status of daycare facilities in the country are not child-friendly.
Senator, order. Senator, put on your mask, please.
Sir. Thank you. I'm advised. Okay. concerned that the current status of daycare facilities in the country are not child-friendly, uninhabitable, and there is need to bridge this gap to capture the playgroup class in the new 26333 curriculum that is replacing the 32-year-old 844 system. Acknowledging that most parents lack access to quality daycare facilities, which would provide a safe and stimulating environment to take care of their children while they are at work. Now, therefore, the Senate urges that county governments, in conjunction with the Ministry of Education, to ensure that counties allocate at least 10% of their budget on early child development education, ECDE, towards this vulnerable group, and B, policy is developed to incorporate the needs of children who are less than 3 years of age. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Duga, you wanted to lay.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to lay on the following paper on the table of the Senate today, Tuesday, 12 May 2020. A report of the Standing Committee on Agriculture, Livestock and Fisheries on the Livestock and Livestock Products Marketing Board, Board, National Assembly Bill number 2 of 2019.
Okay. Next order.
Order number 7, statements.
Deferred.
Order number 8, motion, approval of a senator to serve in the ad hoc committee on COVID-19 situation in Kenya.
That's a procedural motion, so it should not take a lot of time.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to move that I replace the former chairman of the ad hoc committee on COVID, my brother, Mr. Sakaja, who resigned on his own motion, and replace him with Dr. Lagat, Senator. And I think that my
Senator,
brother,
we move the motion.
yes, I beg to move the motion. Yeah, I apologize. Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to move the following motion that pursuant to Standing Order 187 and 189, the Senate approves the nomination of Senator Dr. Christopher Andrew Lagat, MP, to serve in the ad hoc committee on COVID-19 situation in Kenya to take up the vacancy occasioned by the resignation of Senator Johnson Sakaja, CBS MP. Mr. Speaker, sir, Senator for Nairobi, Senator Johnson Sakaja, resigned from that committee, and we thought of giving the opportunity to Dr. Andrew Lagat, who is very well educated, very competent, and we strongly believe that he's going to do a good work once he gets into that committee. Mr. Speaker, sir, he will also bring a dimension on the COVID situation in the Rift Valley region, which currently needs good representation in that committee, so that we can enrich the deliberations that will occur in that committee. Mr. Speaker, sir, the former member, that is Mr. Johnson Sakaja, Senator, sorry, I apologize, has done a good job, but we think that it's time now also we give Dr. Lagat that opportunity to also serve in that committee. Allow me to call Senator Cheriot to second the motion. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to second this motion that has been tabled by the whip of a majority side, that is inviting Senate colleagues to approve the nomination of our colleague, Dr. Langat, to serve in this COVID committee that was set up about 3 or 4 months ago. And up to this stage, I think they have furnished this House with about 7 or 8 reports. The only challenge that I have for Senator Dr. Langat, as he joins this committee with the approval of the House, is that he ensures that actually their reports are actioned and they just don't become reports that fill up and gather dust in the Houses of Parliament. Senate colleagues have requested on many occasions, and this is a request that I had personally made to the chair who has resigned, that can we be furnished with all expenditure that various county governments has used. It is in my best interest as Senator for Kericho to know how much the county government of Kericho up to this particular point has spent in terms of preparation for all COVID-related activities. Because the reports that you're getting, Mr. Speaker, are disheartening, and this is a view that is shared by each of our Senate colleagues. At least that is a list that you could do, because we are a house of oversight. The second and the most important thing, and I raised this last week, Mr. Speaker, while we were debating the issues that were before this House, is that we keep on reading in the newspapers as colleagues in the Senate that County X has this number of isolation beds, this number of ICU beds. Can we be furnished with documents confirming or disputing that report as colleagues here? It is a shame that as senators in this House, we have to rely on newspaper readings to know the amount of preparedness, because some of these facilities you are not able to tell where the county governments have placed them, and it will be important to see the filings that they are giving to the Ministry of the Ministry of Health, so that you counter-check and verify. Otherwise, somebody seated at Afya House may very well read that Bungoma County has 300 isolation beds that have been set up, but it is only Senator Moses Wetangula, when he reads and sees that these beds are stationed in a particular station, that will be able to tell the ministry that this is a fraud. And we know these are things that many of the governors who are in offices can do. Therefore, our colleague, Senator Dr. Langat, I wish you well as you serve in this committee. Bring in the vigor and the energy that you always known to portray. I know him also to be a man of prayer, so I know he will not be tempted or distracted by anything else. He will ensure that he serves to distinction. I mean, Senator Dr. Langat will always pray. On top of the Senate prayer, he will also pray for this country in the cause of, not to say that Senator Sakaja is not a prayerful man. He's a Christian like myself. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I second.
Honorable Senators, I propose the question which is that pursuant to Standing Order 187 and 189, the Senate approves the nomination of Senator Dr. Christopher Andrew Langat, MP, to serve in the ad hoc committee on COVID-19 situation in Kenya, to take up the vacancy occasioned by the resignation of Senator Johnson Sakaja, CBS MP. I put the question which is that pursuant to Standing Order 187 and 189, the Senate approves the nomination of the Senate Dr. Christopher Andrew Langat, MP, to serve in the ad hoc committee on COVID-19 situation in Kenya, to take up the vacancy occasioned by the resignation of Senator Johnson Sakaja. As manner of that opinion, say aye. Aye. As a manner of contrary, you say nay. The ayes have it. Next order.
Order number 9, motion approved.